All right, all right. Thank you, everyone, for being patient as we are going live tonight with this amazing webinar. It's about printing away prosperity, and this is a live webinar that's going to change a lot of people's lives. And I have with me tonight the amazing wealth renegade, also known as Gven Sariol, and he's been on here many times before. He's the founder of Art Crypto, and he's done some amazing things with a lot of students and people that I've referred to him that have amazing testimonials, including myself. So welcome, Gven.
Thank you, my man. How you doing?
Fantastic, man. Glad to be
Awesome.
back on with you again.
Yeah, likewise, dude. Likewise. We had a nice little IG turnout the other day, but this is the meat and potatoes, or if you're vegan, the avocado and honey of finance of the whole thing. How we're gonna show everybody this new system that's coming up.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And so, do you want me to get started and then you come in
Yeah,
and
let's do
talk
that.
your stuff? Okay.
Yeah,
What I'm going to do is I'm gonna talk about a couple of really important things here. You know, I want to touch on 10 points about the importance of passive income. And then I'm going to pass it on to you. So I'll just take a little time here to go over this because, and I prepared some notes. I really want to spend some time here to get people to understand the importance of passive income and why they need it. First of all, we're living in the financial matrix, right? So we have to do that. So I'm going to go over these 10 hot points, and then I'm going to bring you back on, Gven.
awesome.
All right, let me check out this chat and see what we got going on here. All right. Now, you know, it's pretty interesting that in today's age, we're living in a world where it's primarily a capitalistic society. And what we have as quote unquote democracy seems to be ruling the world. And this quote unquote democracy literally is a illusion that has the boot on a lot of people's necks. If you were born in a country like America, for example, you know, even with all of its oppression and negative past history and everything else, it's still one of the greatest places to live. There's a lot of people living on this planet right now, today, at this exact moment that I'm speaking, that don't have some of the benefits that I've been afforded. I've been all over the world. In the last 24 months, I've been to over 11 countries in 24 months, over 259 cities. And that's as evidenced in my Google location ID that I posted online. You know, every year they give you the location ID screenshot, and I posted it on all my social media. But the point is, I've been everywhere. I've been places that you wouldn't even be able to conceive. I've seen people living in conditions that you would think, you know, it just put me back in the reincarnation cycle. I don't want to be here. And people are living in those conditions on a daily basis. I've seen people living in structures that have no windows, no doors, some partially collapsed, some leaning against the other structure, right? There's no building codes. A collapse like the one that happened in Miami happens every single day. And in one case, 100 people, actually a little bit over 100 people were killed in one night. This was in Africa last year while I was there by scorpions. And how did the scorpions get in? Well, they got in because there's no doors, no windows. They don't even have running water. And when a building collapses, they move into another collapsed structure and put a big sheet over the opening, not even a window or a door, and they live inside of these collapsed structures. So if you're on this live, that means you have stable internet. That means you have an electronic device, some type of technology that's allowing you to tap in wherever you are in the world. You're extremely fortunate right now that you can actually be on this video and listen to what we have to say tonight. So it's extremely important that you take this very seriously and don't take it as a joke, you see? And, you know, before I dig in, you know, a lot of new people have started following my accounts recently. I've gained a lot of attention with a lot of viral content online, you know, and I've been viral for years, obviously, but it seems to be a real, you know, explosion in the content right now. People are reposting my content. Some of my stuff has hundreds of millions of views all across the internet. And people may get the perception that all I'm about is, you know, esoteric wisdom, ancient civilizations, you know, and documentaries and so forth. But it's a lot more to me than that. If you've looked at my book, my best-selling book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, And that's the original woke, not the one that's been hijacked by the new mainstream, the original woke, which means ascended consciousness. And I wrote that book primarily because there's this misconception that's going on that if you have any level of success in your life, that you're supposed to be, damned, that you're evil, that you're not worthy of ascension, that you don't have any true, real knowledge because you appear to be successful in whatever it is you do. And that is actually incorrect. That's invalid. And that is something that has creeped into the quote unquote conscious community where people run around trying to put you down, tear you down, or troll you because you appear to have some level of success in whatever industry or field that you're in. And I'm here to tell you that that is actually wrong. And that's the actual evil that exists. A person becoming successful in whatever it is, whether it be financial, whether it be building a legacy for their family, whether it be in their family itself, or whether it be in a special skill or talent that they have, building a startup business from scratch, or whatever it is actually a huge blessing. And it's really a miracle. We live in a day and age right now where it's a financial matrix that has been set up by super elite oligarchs that allow them to siphon this thing. They have to cipher to the matrix. But the majority and the masses of people don't have to cipher. And they set it up so they can keep the boot on their neck. They set up these systems, these financial systems all around the world, but they always leave their own little breadcrumbs. They have what they call Easter eggs in these systems. They have to. If you don't know what that is, if you in the gaming field, right? They have Easter eggs in some of the games. These are shortcuts to get through the game and get to the next level. Well, they create the laws, they write the laws, and they put them out, they sign them, right, to make them actual verified laws that have to now be honored by the citizens of the world. But they always leave their Easter eggs, and they always have a cipher to the code that they've programmed into the matrix. Why do they do that? Because they themselves are not going to abide by and live by the illusion of what the matrix puts on top of us. They themselves are not going to stand by and allow their families' legacies to be completely destroyed. The mindset that a person that is spiritual must be poor and broke and humble, I hate that word humble, and have nothing and scrapping around begging for goods and begging for food and barely making it, or can't have nice things, can't drive a nice car, can't live in a nice comfortable home, can't travel the world and see the world, can't wear clothes that don't have holes in them, can't wear shoes that don't have holes in them, right? That's an illusion. That's the true evil that exists. That evil is a program code that was given to you by the rulers and the oligarchs that wrote this matrix code that have put you into this system. And you fell for it if you believe that. I'm here to tell you that I'm not waiting to die so that I can live. I refuse to wait to die so I can live. And when I leave this mortal coil and I ascend from this meat suit that I'm in, and I go to the next level, or I come back here again, I'm going to live my best life all over again. But I'm going to continue to help as many people as I possibly can break out of the matrix. Period, point blank. Period. And if you're waiting to die so that you can live, you've fallen for the evil programming code. You've been tricked. You've been duped. As they say, as Malcolm X said, you've been hoodwinked, led astray. You see? That's what they want you to believe. You see, you got to realize they set their heaven up here, and then they have everyone else waiting to die so that they can live. I'm telling you right now, the ultimate mission and the ultimate goal of you walking as God in the flesh on this planet is so that you can learn how to convert this hell into heaven. The mission is to turn this planet into heaven right now within the time period that you're alive. You can create a heaven just like this. You can walk outside of your house right now and you can help somebody. You just created a spark of heaven. You can walk outside of your house right now and see somebody in need. You can be in a grocery store and know that somebody's home that's kind of, I don't want to say the word handicap, disabled is the word used now, right? They're disabled. They can't get out like you can get out. You can make a phone call and say, hey, I'm at the grocery store, neighbor so-and-so. Would you like me to pick up something for you? You just created heaven at the drop of a dime. They got you thinking that we're supposed to be running around, scrambling around in this financial matrix that they've put us into, waiting to die, so that then there can be a decision whether we're going to go to heaven or hell. I'm going to tell you where heaven or hell is. This is heaven. This is hell. Heaven or hell is nothing but a state of mind. And you can be in hell 24/7. I know people that are in hell right now. I know people, I could pick up my phone right now and I can call one person, a random person that I know for a fact has a sad story for me today. And I haven't talked to this person in a couple of years. But they got a sad, I guarantee they have a sad story right now. They're living in hell 24/7. They've created their own hell. I know some people that I can call on this phone right now that are living in absolute bliss, that are in heaven. When I say, hey man, I haven't talked to you in about 3 years, how you doing? They're going to say fantastic with enthusiasm because they figured it out. They figured it out. You see? And it doesn't mean that everybody's going to be a billionaire or a trillionaire. That's ridiculous. But what it does mean is your daily needs and your family's daily needs should be met, and you should be manifesting abundance 24/7. And what is abundance? It's something different for everyone, isn't it? For myself, a person like me who is really, I would say, in control of the outcome of a lot of people's lives, because a lot of people work for my company. And every day, if I don't get up and go to work, they can't pay their bills. They can't put diapers on their babies. They can't, cover their car payments or their car insurance payments. There's a lot of responsibility that goes along with that. And then add on to that the hundreds of millions of people's lives that are touched by the information that I put out through my 140 social media accounts, which touch over 5 million people a week. So there's a lot of responsibility there. So a person like myself, to whom much is given, much is required. I have to help a lot of people. I can't be living in a tent with a robe and slippers on a prepaid track phone, making memes and thinking that I'm helping the world. I need financial means from the matrix. I need to get an energy exchange so that I can help as many people as I possibly can, bring a little bit of heaven to their reality tunnel. And so when you see what abundance is for everyone, it's something a little different. Some people just need to make sure that their rent or their mortgage is paid on time every single month. And there's food in their stomach and their kid's stomach, right? Their lights always on. Last year, I paid $16,000 in final notice electric bills. This year, I'm up to about $12,000 in final notice electric bills. People that follow my accounts that have these final notices that I can't pay them all. I probably got about 10,000 final notice bills that I can't pay them all, but I pay as many as I possibly can. The point is this: for those people, imagine if they had the knowledge and the wisdom of how to create passive income for themselves and recreate their reality and recreate their abundant mindset so that they themselves don't have to worry about how they're going to get some type of financial assistance, how they're going to keep their lights on so their kids don't freeze. This has been one of the coldest years that I've seen since I've been on this planet. Now, I live in Florida. There's been some type of heat bubble on top of us. I'm in South Florida. We didn't even have a winter. I think it got cold for 2 days, and that was in the 60s. And after that, it went away, and it's been, burning up hot. But as soon as I leave here and go to any other state, it's ice cold. I just came from California, 57 degrees yesterday. Cold, wet, rainy, 57 degrees. I was in Arizona, Sedona, Arizona, and it was 10-foot, 15-foot piles of snow at the airport. We landed in snow. I'm like, what is going on here? So people, kids, they're living in this, man, with no power. Can you imagine? In Michigan, a little bit of wind blows. Let me talk about 10, 15 mile an hour wind. The electricity goes out across the whole place. The whole Detroit's down, no power. Their kids freezing all night long. You see, we have to begin to understand that to get ourselves out of these kind of situations and stop living like paupers, it means we have to have some type of financial means. So stop living the illusion that you don't need it. Stop letting people trick you into thinking having money is evil, because having money is not evil. Having financial abundance is not evil. You see, because money is nothing but an instrument. It's a link between energy exchanges. That's all it is. It has no value other than consciousness attributed value. I don't care what the stock market says. I don't care what the poly tricksters say about what the value of the dollar is today. I don't care what Google say the value of the dollar is today. If I'm in Alaska and I'm in an ice cold frozen cave and I lost all my supplies, but I got a bag of $1 trillion, and I don't want to get pulmonary edema by breathing in ice cold air all night, I'm going to light that bag of money, that $1 trillion, I'm going to light it on fire so fast so I can live one more night. You see? So what happened to all the value that Google says in the stock exchange and NASDAQ and then the poly tricksters, all right? What happened to all the, the market value? It doesn't exist. So what is money? It's only what you consciously attribute value to it. That particular night, I would attribute value to it of my life. So I'd burn it and create carbon so that I can warm up the atmosphere that we're in that cave that I'm in, so my body doesn't freeze and my lungs don't burst from the inside out, and I can live one more day. You see? So stop being fooled and tricked into saying money is evil and you got nice things and that's evil. No, having nice things is not evil. You've been hoodwinked, you've been tricked. And anybody who tells you that foolishness, they're the evil ones. They are the dark brothers that Thoth the Atlantean, Tahuti from Africa warned us about in the Emerald Tablets. The people that creep along and start nibbling at you and talking in your ear and telling you that, you shouldn't have nice things. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be trying to be successful. You shouldn't be opening your own business. Who do you think you are trying to become successful and get out of this rut, this bucket that we're all in? We want to pull you back down. The problem we have on earth is this. Human beings are the prisoners and both the prison guards. We're the prisoners and our own prison guards. As soon as one person looks like they're getting escaped this little matrix, here we go. We turn into the guard now. It just possesses us. Agent Smith effect, like in the Matrix, right? And now we try to stop them. We tell them anything we can tell them. We'll physically abuse them. We'll hurt them. We will kill them if we have to stop them from moving on, to force them into our dogma of polytricks, of religion, right? Of crazy belief systems, psychopathic, narcissistic belief systems, to keep everyone in a box. So we're all in the same prison together because misery likes company. We want to be here. Stop letting people destroy your future outcomes in the third dimension. Anytime somebody comes with these cymatic frequencies at you, all they're doing, once you take that programming code from their cymatics into your brain and you process them, if you don't reject the programming code, it becomes like a virus, a consciousness negative virus. And then it leaks in doubt into your own mind. And once the doubt leaks into your mind, what happens next? Now all of your plans and goals and wishes and hopes and dreams and your passions, you begin to doubt them. You begin to doubt yourself. You begin to wonder if you are worthy of anything that's good or nice. You begin to worry, man, maybe I don't deserve a good relationship. Maybe this relationship is just too good to be true. So then you self-sabotage and destroy your relationship. You destroy your income. You destroy all your opportunities because these cymatic frequencies from somebody else's mouth, programming code, came at you and you let it seep into your system and you let it infect you. You see? People like that, you got to run away from these people as fast as you possibly can. I got people on my phone right now. I love these people to death. But guess what? I don't talk to these people. I'll do anything in the world, any possible thing I have to do to get away from talking or communicating or even seeing these people. I love them from afar. I wish them the best. I'll send them something every now and then through the mail, but they'll never be able to connect to me again because I don't want the virus. I'm sending an upload. I'm not taking any more downloads. 0 downloads. If your download is negative, it's a virus, I don't want it. I'm seeking only positivity, uplifting, encouragement, inspiration, motivation. I don't care about none of these other crazy problems and situations. I don't let those creep into my life. And I'm going to tell you one thing before I get started on these top 10 things that I want to talk to you about. You better recognize and understand the matrix that we're living in, this economic matrix. If you think that it's fake, if you think you can just lumber through life and say, well, I'll be dead anyway, and then I'll just let Sally and John, my kids, I'll let them figure it out on their own, then you're evil. I'll say that again. If you don't find a way to navigate this matrix and secure a legacy for your own future offspring or friends, families, loved ones, whoever it is that you're leaving behind, then you are evil. That's right, I said it. Why? Because you have succumbed to the evil programming code that has kept so many billions of people on this planet locked in a state of disparity, locked in a state of divide and conquer, locked in a state of mental poverty, locked in a mental prison, and locked in a financial prison. It's time to break out. It's time to escape this matrix once and for all and stop playing their game. Once I stopped playing their game and learned how that game was played, I started seeing prosperity pop. I started seeing things that I had dreamt of being and living up to and becoming and evolving into start to happen. Then I analyzed and broke down their systems, and I began to follow their own breadcrumbs that they left in the matrix. I began to follow their own ciphers. And I realized, wow, it's all laid out for us. People want to get mad at Trump, and I can't stand any polytrickster. I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not supporting Biden. I don't support no polytrickster. But I'm going to tell you this. When they came down on him for not paying his taxes, they looked like idiots because he said, hey, you guys made the rules. I just followed them. You should be calling me a genius. And guess what? He was right. Absolutely 100,000% correct. You think Amazon's paying taxes? You think Apple's paying taxes? These people ain't paying no taxes, man. Come on. The cipher, man. They got the cipher. They have the code. They know how to follow the breadcrumbs through the matrix. It's all about how do you navigate. Well, tonight we're going to give you some breadcrumbs. We're going to show you the cipher. We're going to show you how to navigate a whole totally different way. And then it's going to be up to you. All we can do is open the door, but you got to walk through it alone. Period, point blank. There's no other way to say it. You have to walk through it alone. All right? So I want to talk to you about a couple things before I bring Gven back on. I'm talking about top 10 reasons to pursue passive income. The first one, financial independence. Okay? Passive income allows you to generate income without actively trading your time for money. It can provide a consistent stream of income and reduce your reliance on traditional employment, and it will offer you financial independence. What is financial independence? I'll tell you what that is. This is really key. I've been a benefactor of financial independence throughout my life, which is phenomenal. When my kids were just little kids growing up, and I wanted a sports program in my city, which didn't really exist, I jumped into action and helped create and build sports programs in the city so that my kids can have programs to be a part of. I took 7 years off. 7 years I didn't work. I just built sports programs and coached every kind of sport you could think of, volunteered at every single one of my kids' schools, elementary, middle school, and high school. Volunteered in the office, volunteered as coaches on the school teams. YMCA, I helped build a YMCA in West Broward, the West Broward YMCA. If you go inside that YMCA today, there's a gigantic granite block on the staircase that says the Billy Carson family right there. When you're walking up in the bricks, walking into the building, there's a brick with my name on it. I'm a founding member. I built that building. I helped build that structure. I helped build that community. But guess what? You can't do that without financial. You can't take 7 years off without financial independence. Just go ahead and try. So you know what? I like what Mr. Billy did. I think I want to do the same thing and try that without financial independence and see what happens in 3 weeks when your lights are off, your car's getting repossessed, your mortgage is past due, or your rent's past due. It's important because it allows you to do the things that you want to do. Just a few weeks ago, I had to take care of a filming thing that I was doing. I was filming a project, and I was able to end the project a little bit early. And I decided, you know what? I know they already paid for my flight to do this and do that, but why should I be stuck here, stranded here for a few more days? Let me just hop on an app and type in airline ticket and get myself a nice first-class lay-down ticket at a seat that I can lay down in, like a bed, right? Business class, first class, and take my butt home so I can relax in my own bed and don't have to hang out here for another day and a half. The job is already done, But see, a person that doesn't have financial independence, they can't do that. They've got to wait for that appointed day and time that first ticket was for, that was paid for them, because they can't even go into their bank account to get the extra ticket out of their own pocket and invest in their own freedom to leave that place and go back home to see your family and relax. It's very important. If I decided next week, actually, I'll tell you, give an example. Tomorrow is the Miami Heat game. Of course, I'm a Miami Heat fan. I've been a Miami Heat fan since I was a little kid. Well, not a little kid, since the 1990s when they first became a team in Florida. I was young, my 20s. But guess what? There's a game tomorrow because the Knicks beat them and forced another game. Well, that game wasn't even on the calendar, and I actually had a couple things I was going to do tomorrow, but I rescheduled my whole day till I'm going to take off from 3 o'clock in the afternoon all the way until 11 o'clock at night, because I'm going to go down to the Heat game with my family. We're going to have a nice afternoon in Miami, have a nice lunch, early dinner, and go to the game and relax, and then come home. And I'm not even going to drive. Our chauffeur is going to take us down there. I don't have to worry about driving. I don't have to worry about fighting traffic. That's financial independence. The stress, the burden, the load can be lifted, but you need to be able to create that first. I paid my dues for decades. I made a lot of mistakes I had to learn from. We're giving you information that's going to let you circumvent a lot of the problems and a lot of mistakes that we both, Gven and I, had gone through in our lives. Flexibility and freedom. Passive income provides flexibility in the terms of time and location once established. Passive income streams require less time and effort to maintain. While I'm talking to you right now, I have money being generated for me as I'm speaking to you. While I'm sleeping in my bed, there's money being generated. Revenue is being generated in my name. While I'm sleeping, while I'm traveling, while I'm at the Heat game tomorrow, I'm creating revenue. Passive income is generating income for me while I'm at the Miami Heat game tomorrow. This is why it's important. Wealth creation and accumulation. Passive income can be powerful as a powerful tool for creation. By consistently reinvesting and compounding your passive income, you can accelerate your wealth accumulation and work towards achieving your financial goals faster. My financial goal is legacy. I'm not worried about what I'm going to do with my check next week or what bills got to be paid tomorrow. I'm focused on what's going to happen 15, 20 generations down my bloodline. How am I going to be a positive effect on their economic situation? I'm building a legacy. And because I'm focused on building a legacy, my current everyday needs, my abundance, my daily abundance is guaranteed to be met. I'm not thinking about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm not thinking 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. I'm thinking 100 years, 200 years into the future. It's a totally different way of thinking. It's a totally different way of seeing things. Mitsubishi has like a 350-year business model, business plan. The Anunnaki that I talk about all the time, they had a plan for all time on this planet, how they wanted economics and civilization to run. They said they had a plan for all time. They didn't plan for the week after next. They didn't plan for 2 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. They planned for all time. Well, if they're doing that and these big corporations are doing that, why aren't we doing that? You see? But it all starts with the one thing, the passive income and wealth creation and accumulation. Retirement planning, very important. Do you think Social Security is going to be around by the time most of us hit 65? And I'm close to 65, right? I'll be 52 this September. You think there's going to be a Social Security check waiting on me? You think I want them stinking $700? I don't want those $700, man. If they send me that check, I'm going to burn it. I'm going to light it on fire or give it away to somebody. I don't want them stinking $700, whatever they're going to give out, $600, $700. Man, come on, please. Don't insult me with that. That's a slap. That's a pimp slap in the face. Build your own retirement. Create your own retirement fund by using passive income streams. Maybe you keep your job. You keep what you're doing. You love what you're doing. You're passionate about it. But it's not going to set you up for retirement. Every time I travel around the world, there's one thing that I see all the time. I see old people for the first time getting out to travel the world. And you know what I notice about them? Bless their hearts, they struggle. Like they're going to these ancient sites that I go to, and they really struggle to walk 10 miles in a day, to go into these 110-degree temperatures. I remember going to Peru, and I think it was 2017, and I was in the Sacred Valley, and the altitude is probably like 12,000 feet or something over there. And as I'm walking up this this gigantic partial mountain / hill, trying to get around the curve to where they got some temples at the top, I see donkeys coming down with people on them. I'm like, donkeys? They got donkeys out here? They got donkey rides? So I turned to my guide and I said, what's going on with these donkeys? He said, these are the people that couldn't make it. Their body can't acclimate. They don't have the energy. They can't absorb the oxygen. They just can't go up any further. So we have the donkeys to bring them back down, or they might not make it. I'm like, holy crap. And when I look, they're all older people, you see? Because they literally worked their entire lives, and now they're just trying to live off the little bit of meager savings they was able to accumulate. But now they're too old to enjoy any of it. You got to start enjoying your life now. Build a retirement fund, but also make sure you have a fund for travel, because travel is invaluable. You can't even put a price tag on the value of travel and going out and seeing this world. There's so many places to go. I can literally travel somewhere every single day and still not see everything I want to see before I pass away. So retirement and travel, two important things. But again, passive income can get you there. Okay. Entrepreneurial opportunities is huge. Passive income often involves entrepreneurial endeavors. Building passive income streams allows you to explore business opportunities. This is what this is, a business opportunity. You're going to hear something about it. Develop innovative ideas and create value for others while generating income. There's a lot of opportunities that can come your way. You've heard them. You've seen them. You see a plot of land somewhere in your city, an old rundown city block that's for sale for basically almost next to nothing. Imagine when Detroit was giving away properties for $5 and $10, houses, whole houses. You could have bought two, 3 blocks if you had $10,000, but you didn't have it. Why didn't you have it? Because you didn't have any way of creating passive income. You didn't have any passive income. You were living paycheck to paycheck. And because you didn't have the passive income, those opportunities, they just keep passing you by and passing you by. And guess what? Every single day that something occurs in your life is the closer you are to the last time that opportunity or situation will ever occur. There's always a last time for everything. There's a last kiss. There's a last time you're going to make love. There's a last time you're going to travel anywhere. There's the last opportunity you're ever going to take. There's the last investment. There's the last time you're going to see your family and your loved ones. There's a last time for everything in the third dimension. Stop thinking you got time. Unfortunately, time is not on our side the way we think it is in the third dimension. Now, time, we are already immortal and eternal beings, yes. But if you want to make life easier for future generations of your offspring or loved ones or whatever you want, or charities that you believe in, people that you believe in, situations that you want to help and affect in a positive way, then guess what? You need to create passive income to take advantage of entrepreneurial opportunities. Risk mitigation. Passive income diversifies your risk profile by creating multiple income streams. If one source of income is affected by the market or economic conditions, alternative sources are there for you to rely on. Let me tell you what happened to me. You see, you got to learn lessons from me, man. Around 2004, I sold one of my companies, .com Marketing Group, DOTCOM Marketing Group. I had one of the very first startup .coms. I built it from 1997. And then in 2004, I sold it for millions of dollars. I came up with this genius idea. Let me take this money and invest it all into real estate and land, commercial, residential, and land. And that's what I did. And I put pretty much almost everything I had in one basket, all my eggs in one basket. Well, guess what happened? It looked good in the beginning. Man, this is crazy. I'm killing the game. I'm doing all these pre-construction homes. I'm selling land like crazy. I got commercial properties. I'm killing it. Over 400 properties all over the country. And then all of a sudden, 2008 came. The real estate bubble popped. Shook up my whole world. Literally. I literally lost the empire that I built. I went down almost back to nothing. I had to rebuild all over again because I didn't have multiple streams of income. I had one thing that I banked on. I was like, I made it. All I got to do now is just keep putting my money in real estate and I'll be a trillionaire. Wrong. You see, you can't rely on just one thing and one thing only. You have to have multiple streams of income coming in. Now, people say, why do you do so many things? What is this forbidden knowledge? What you got? A record label, you have a book publishing company, you have e-commerce, you have development, you have creativity, you have content creation, you have a TV network. Yeah, because guess what? Everything moves in cyclical ways, ups and downs, cycles. All businesses do that. Well-established or non-well-established. So guess what? When one part is having a low month, another part's having a high month. Two parts could be having a low month, and two other parts could be having a super high, record-breaking month. It's happened. And so no matter what I turn around and look, at every angle I turn, there's always something coming in. And since I got involved with Gven, with this project, it's been incredible. Every time I log in, I refresh. A week or two later, I see growth. That's what I want to see. I want to see growth, right? And of course, generational wealth and legacy. Passive income can create a long-lasting impact by building generational wealth. By building substantial income streams, you can pass on financial stability and opportunities to future generations. I can't stand when I hear people keep saying, hey, I live my life and that's up to you. It's up to y'all. Y'all got to do the best you can. Isn't that the mindset of everybody pretty much on this planet right now? Corporations pollute the waters and the ocean and steal all the food out of the oceans, right? They pollute the sky. But their thing is, look, we got to make our billions now, and y'all figure that stuff out in the future, right? We got fossil fuel problems. We're running on fossil fuels in the 21st century. Now we got the electric car problem. Electric cars are worse than fossil fuel cars. Electric cars are worse than combustion engines. You're going to see a huge fall. Mark my word, electric cars, EVs, are going to have a major collapse in the next 10 years because the system isn't built to sustain it. And these lithium mines and these cobalt mines that have little tiny kids going into them and literally harvesting this ore with their bare hands, it can't be sustained. It's not sustainable. Then you have a situation where you have China, you have these other people, they're eyeballing these mines, and they're saying, if we go and sneak in here and take over these mines by military force, then we control the lithium and we control the cobalt. And they got to pay whatever we say, because if they don't pay it, hey, we just don't ship it out. We don't mine it for them. We can collapse an entire economy of a country if we take over these mines. It's going to happen. The future of transportation is not EVs, and it's definitely not combustion, not the way you think in combustion with fossil fuels. It's going to be hydrogen-powered cars. That's the actual future, hydrogen. You'll see that, mark my word. I always predict the future. I've been doing it for decades. But again, we're talking generational wealth, legacy building. Thinking about future generations, not just me now, me. Oh, I ate today. I'm happy. I got food in my mouth. Let me kick my feet up and watch the world burn. That's not the way to do it. The way to be a real blessing is to be able to leave a generational blessing, something that people can look back on 10, 15 generations and say, that's great grandpa Billy. It's because of him that we got this right now. And he laid out the foundation for us to follow. And because of that, we're all right. You see? And then, of course, you want to pursue personal passions. See, life is all about passions. For me, without passion, life is absolutely meaningless. I'm not a robot. I'm not a soulless avatar that operates on matrix programming and sits in a cubicle all day. Type, get up, eat, drink, gossip at the water cooler, laugh at this one, talk about this one behind its back, go home, okay, sit on the couch, eat some more food, eat, sit down, watch TV, laugh a couple times, lay down, go to sleep, do it all over again. That's not me. That's a soulless avatar operating on matrix code programming, period, point blank. That ain't living. They're alive, but they're not living. It's all about your passions. What passions do you have? What things are you passionate about? Do you follow your passion? Can you even monetize your passion? Can you find a need for your passion in the world and then fulfill it, because that side effect to that will be money in your bank account. But you can't follow your passions, because passions take time. You have to become perfect and you have to perfect it. And that means you have to be able to sustain when there is nothing to sustain, when there's no money coming in. You need passive income for that. Increased financial security. Passive income provides a layer of financial security as it serves as a safety net during unforeseen circumstances. I know that one of my sons, he's 27 now, he called me up and he was asking me if I can help him get a rent-a-car. He had a car that he had since he was 16, a Ford Explorer, I think it was, a Ford Expedition he had. And his mom, I bought his mom that truck back in the day. She gave it to him. You know, he had it. He never calls me and asks me for nothing. So when he called me and told me the car finally broke down and died and it wasn't worth fixing it, and he wanted to know if I can help him out with a rent-a-car or borrow a car or something like that, I immediately jumped to action, because he's never asked me for anything, and I openly just give. But he's never said, you know, hey, I need this, I need that. Can you pay this for me? Can you pay that for me? So I went and bought him a car cash. I asked him first, I said, let me ask you a question. Do you want me to buy you a car cash, or it's going to be a used car, or do you want to get a new car that's going to have a payment? I'll get you the down payment. I'll get you approval, get the whole thing done for you, and I'll take care of a few payments, so you're going to have a choice, one or the two. I said, here's the benefit. The new car, the payment is going to come out. You're going to have to pay that every single month, but it's going to help you build your credit. You got to do more. You don't have enough credit. You have excellent credit, but you don't have enough. You need to build your car credit up. You may turn around in a couple of years and be like, I want to go get this nice $50,000, $60,000 car. Well, you got to prove that you can pay for a car. They don't care about your little $10,000 credit card. They want to see car credit. I said, or I can buy you this car cash. You don't have to worry about any payments, but you need to save the same equivalent of a car payment every single month, because I guarantee cars made by a human being, which means it's going to have faults, which means it's going to break down. Situations are going to arise. He said, okay, I want the paid off car. I said, okay, make sure you put money away for a rainy day for when this car acts up. I got the car, I sent it to a mechanic shop, make sure everything was A1 with it and everything else. About maybe 4 months later, he calls me up. Hey, there's a problem with the car. The transmission is acting up. I said, okay, we'll go ahead and get it fixed then. You know, I told you, you're going to either pay a car payment or you're going to pay a car payment. You ain't getting around paying this car payment. You're going to have to save for it for a rainy day, or you're going to have to pay for it every single month, knowing that payment's coming. But at the end of the day, either way you look at it, I don't care what you got, you're going to pay money. One way you got to be smart about putting the money away. The other way, you're automatically paying it, and then your car has a problem, you take it to the shop, they fix it for free. You see? Too many people are worried about how they can not come out of pocket right now. Too many people are worried about, they're not worried about enough, I should say, about financial security and saving for a rainy day. There's too many people that a situation blindsides them. Something comes up that you just could not foresee, and all of a sudden, you're scrambling. You are scrambling. You got to suck up your pride. You got to call people you don't want to call. You got to ask them if they can help you out with a little something. You see? And all this. And you don't want to be in that position. Well, why keep putting yourself in that position? Create yourself a passive income. Take a sacrifice and bet on you, and start working on creating money for unforeseen circumstances in your life. Job loss, medical emergencies, economic downturns. Okay, we know they got the pandemics. They have these things. Every single 7 or 8 years, there's going to be another catastrophe, whether it's real estate bubble, mortgage bubble, whether it's some type of a thing that they're going to make everybody's going to get sick. They're going to keep coming up every 8 to 10 years. When the whole real estate market collapsed in 2008, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. It left me with my pants down, literally, and no Vaseline. You know what I said to myself? This ain't going to happen to me ever again. I'm never going to turn around and look at my kids in their eyes and have them look at me like, what are we going to do? Never, ever, ever again am I going to be in this situation. So right after that whole collapse happened and I pulled my bootstraps up and got myself back in the game again, I started preparing for the next one from 2008. I was preparing for this thing that happened in 2021 and 2020. I was preparing for it from 2008. So when this thing came, I laughed. It was nothing to me. Matter of fact, I made more money than I've ever made in my life during the whole global sickness. But you see, I was ready up here and here. I knew what was going on. I knew what was happening. I was just waiting for the day it was going to arrive. And I guarantee you what, it's going to come back again. And if you think that you're going to smooth sail till you're old and gray and nothing else is going to happen to shut down this planet, you're kidding yourself. You got to be ready. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about passive income, being ready, not becoming the victim, It's time to stop allowing ourselves to become victims of the civilization, of the society, of the polytrichers. They are really doing a job on us. But guess what? There's a cipher out there, and there's breadcrumbs, and we know the way through the matrix, and that's what we're going to show you. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my boy Gven on now, and he's going to drop some serious knowledge on you, and I want you to pay close attention. And then I want you to click that link that I'm going to put in the caption and start dropping in these comments, because you need to get a consultation and move yourself to the next level. All right? Let me bring Gven back in. Gven.
What's up, my man? Great stuff.
All right, man.
No Vaseline.
No Vaseline, man. And, they love no Vaseline. They want to go dry and raw with you when they get you. They want to go raw. And I'm like, nah, man, I can't let this happen to me again, man. I can't have the blood coming out of the back. I gotta be ready. I gotta be ready, man. Sometimes you got to get grimy. You got to talk to these people grimy. They got to know, like, we mean serious business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, this ain't a game.
Yeah.
Like, this really ain't no game. Like, they really are out here trying to dominate us in a way that belittles us, that hurts us, that puts us down, that embarrasses us in front of our own family. Yeah. And we got to stop. We got to stop falling prey to that. We got to but there's only one way. We got to stand up. We got to pull our bootstraps up, tie them tight, and we got to go to battle, man. But we got to go to battle up here. And we got to play a smart. We got to know how to put our toes in the matrix, how to put your toes in the water and get your toes out. Put your toes in the water and get your toes out. And so that's what I love about you, man, because you have the breadcrumbs, you have the cipher. Your system is dynamic. It's amazing. I'm a testimony to the system. It's been incredible these last 4 months. And so I'm going to let you drop some knowledge on the people, man, and let them hear what you got to say.
Awesome, man. Actually, Billy, you've been with us for 6 months. So a little bit longer.
Oh, 6. It's been 6. Time is moving. How time is in the third dimension, man. You're blinking.
No, I know. I'm messing with you. But I want everybody to know it's been a little bit longer, because the more time I get with you, the more I love you, man. You're an amazing human being. So let me see if I can share the screen here. So all right. Let's see here. All right, can y'all see that? Billy, yeah, you guys can see it?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So, Billy's, really touched heavily tonight on building that passive income. Tonight, I'm gonna kind of build the further case, and I'm sure a lot of you guys follow Billy and definitely hear what he's saying. He's been right on so many things. And one of them is, this financial collapse that's coming. Billy and I just got on, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago, we did a rant. And we tapped a little bit on this, but today we're really going to get into the real guts of this, because this is happening in real time. And let me tell you this, like I used to be the guy on the soapbox back in 2017, 2018, 2019 in crypto, going like, guys, gals, the end is near. The end is near for this old financial system. And I remember even my own dad and my own mother sitting there looking at me like I had a third eye, and not, the cool one that ascends you, but just the one that makes you look really weird. And now we're starting to see this happen. And we have more students than we've ever had, even though the crypto market is so wildly up and down and stuff. People are going, I'm done with this old system. And this is why we wanted to present, printing away your wealth. because it's happening, and it's happened since the dawn of currencies. So again, my name is Gven Sariol. I'm the owner, one of the founders and CEO and changing the rules as they saw fit, and getting greedy and lining the pockets of the richest people in the world as the middle class and the lower class started to deviate away from each other from the upper income earners. And so I felt definitely called by whatever you want to call it, God, Chi, to really teach this stuff to people and help them gain either all three or at least one of the freedoms: financial freedom, location freedom, or time freedom. And this is, then again, these are some of the things that Billy was talking about that you can achieve with passive income. But again, I want to make the case tonight and show you why you're here today. Banks and governments are failing all over the world. And I'm going to show you some charts here in a little bit that are going to blow your mind. But today I'm going to be asking you some questions that I really want you to be answering for yourself, and you can type them in the chat. I want to see some of your answers. People no longer trust this system that these governments have built. You know, and it's funny, I oftentimes I don't live in the United States anymore, just because there's a tax loophole, like Billy was saying, that Donald Trump, partakes in. And again, I'm in the same boat as Billy. I don't care if you're a Demopublican or a Republican, left wing, right wing, same bird. But people no longer trust the system. I don't trust the tax system. I don't trust the laws that they're passing anymore. These things are nonsensical when I really look at them. I just don't trust them. And so I moved to a country where I wanted to be treated better, where I had a little bit more control, a little bit more freedom over my life. Now, no government is going to give you 100% of that, unfortunately, but we can certainly achieve a lot more than what we have in the U.S., in my opinion. But I've also gotten some nice tax exemptions that are fully legal. I haven't juked anybody. I haven't, committed any tax fraud. They're fully legal, okay? But the system is just is rotten as an apple, and I just got sick of it. And blockchain, at least for me, and I hope I can make the case for you all tonight, represents a paradigm change in finance and inclusivity. And I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care if you're upper, lower, middle class. The current financial system was not designed for the 90% of the people in the United States. And I would argue probably like closer to like 98%, but the numbers say 90%. It's skewed against us. And we're going to talk about how you can get out of that broken system. And, talking about like what Billy said, like I've had actually a couple of 2008s, and I'm sure Billy's just giving 2008 as just one of his examples as well. Because you don't get to like where I am, where Billy is, in just with the snap of a finger. There are some hardships that come, but I want to be able to teach you my hardships so that maybe you don't have to go through them. And Billy does the same thing, right? That's why we have gotten successful. That's why we have lots of students that constantly keep coming back to all of our classes. And we have a class almost every single day of the week. I mean, we're damn near Harvard now for blockchain. But today I'm going to show you how I went from $15,000 total. And I want to say, I forgot to put this in here. $15,000 total. My money was all in crypto. I was going through a divorce. It was the only thing that they couldn't take from me. They thought I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto hidden somewhere. I told them, call me up when you find it, because I need a little bit of money too. But all I had was $15,000 in crypto. and probably $300,000 in debt. So if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I wasn't even living paycheck to paycheck. I was submerged deep in a trench in the ocean financially. Okay. And I went from that to being able to quit my 9-to-5 job, travel the world, and move to a penthouse with an ocean view. And you can kind of see that's an island down there. It's a little dark now, but that's an island down there that I wake up every morning, and sometimes people, oh man, the view will get old or this. It's never old to me. I go out, I sit outside, I thank God, I thank the universe, I thank myself for allowing myself to accept this abundance. Okay. And so here's a few pictures. I just recently had my daughter. She was born October 12th. And here in the country of Panama. And my lady, my fiance, we just got engaged a week and a half ago. We've traveled all over the world. We've lived in Costa Rica. We've lived in Mexico, Georgia, Russia, before it was very unpopular. And you can see, here's all the pictures, not all of them, but some of the pictures of my travels. And this was part of my job, was to create location and time freedom and passive income, aka financial freedom, so that I could afford to do all these things. And it's not as hard as you think. Like, some of you may be like, oh my gosh, he's taken pictures by castles and all this stuff. No, that when I was living, in Georgia, and I'm going to diverge a little bit here because Billy was talking the same thing. Like, my mind had a little bit of polluted virus in my brain because I had just started really making some money. And my fiance and I, we were living like kings and queens out here in the country of Georgia, but we were only spending $3,000-$4,000 a month. And I was making way more than that. I mean, there was one month I made probably close to $250,000 in 1 month because the crypto market was going haywire, not from selling a course or anything like that, but because I was prepared. Okay. I was prepared to take that money in. All right. I was prepared to accept that abundance. And I remember saying to myself, I'm like, man, I feel bad living like this. I feel bad. And then I just had this conversation with my students because I had a class right before getting on here with Billy with my students, because we're actually now teaching location freedom. So we teach decentralized finance, and we're going to get into that a little bit. But I started a free course because I want to teach my students location freedom. It's so important to be able to get up and go wherever you want to go and do whatever you want to do. It's so, so, so important. And again, guys, gals, I didn't need $110,000 a month to live next to a castle, to eat out the best food in the world from Mediterranean climate. I didn't need a ton of money. I needed like $3,000 a month, and we lived like a king and queen. So what some of you are paying for rent and living paycheck to paycheck, we were living next level. And you can do it too. And like Billy was saying, but you got to be able to create that passive income. You got to reduce that overhead. And again, that's why I started teaching my students an additional course, because I want to help them really achieve that financial freedom. Now, if you don't think that any of this is possible, I've been featured in tons of places. New York Weekly, LA Weekly, Yahoo Finance. I've been featured on Ryan Pineda's podcast. A lot of you have seen me on Billy Carson's stuff. I've been featured in entrepreneurs podcasts as well. So I've really grown and been evangelizing what I'm doing because I love what I do. And make no mistake about this is the future of finance. And so let's get into what's going on with the dollar right now. Let's make that case. And then I want to show you the solution, because the solution is not so far away than where you think. And sometimes the world looks very dark and very ugly. I've turned a light onto this darkness, and I'm going to keep doing it. And sometimes I even myself, I feel beat up. I feel sad because we're all fighting. If somebody says blue, you got to say red. I'm telling you right now that, again, we're not too far away from consensus with each other, because we do have one commonality, I believe. We all want what's best for each other, and we all just want to live a comfortable life. We just want to live a comfortable life. And if I work my butt off, then I should be able, without screwing people, because there is karma, right? Then I should be able to earn and reap what I sow. That's what I truly believe. But at the end of the day, you know, I've helped people become millionaires, but my goal is not to make 1, 2, 3, 5 people millionaires. Is to make as many people as I can comfortable, because I know, because I've been in your shoes before, that you're suffering. And this situation with the dollar isn't making it any easier. So let's talk about fiat currencies through the last few decades. I'm sorry, not decades, centuries, okay? And I want you to understand that no fiat currency has ever survived as the world reserve currency. And all fiat currencies, I don't care which one it is, it can be the Chinese yuan, it could be the Japanese yen, it could be the Zimbabwe, whatever the dollar was called out there, the renminbi, the peso, all of them inflate. Meaning the governments just print and print and print, taking value out of your money. And you all know that this is true because you've seen it. I don't even need to bring up a freaking chart. Pull out your receipts from your grocery bills or your gas bill from the last 3 years, and you can't tell me that from 2019 until now, your bills haven't doubled. Maybe even in some cases have tripled. And so these, again, like Billy says, these polytricksters, these politicians who want you to believe, oh yeah, we're doing great, we're bringing down inflation, all this stuff. They hide the numbers that they don't want you to see. Okay? They hide the numbers you don't want to see. When they say 11% or 9% or 4%, I always double that. Sometimes even triple it, because I see it. Like, you can't blind me over it. When I remember it, I mean, Billy lives in Miami. He could tell you. I went to go and invest in property back in Miami in 2009 when these skyline apartments there were $300,000. I went back again in 2021, 2022 to take a look, and these things were going for $2-3 million. Almost 10x in real estate. That's what happens when you print your money away. People put that money into income producing assets, okay, that are going to have way more growth than the dollar, which has only declined, or the pound, or the French franc, or the Spanish peso. All of these have declined. But I want you to take a look at this, okay? How long these fiat currencies, and this goes back all the way to a little bit before 1400. So it starts with Portugal. Portugal is the first fiat currency. That was the world's reserve currency. That lasted for about 80 years. Then Spain, that lasted for about 110 years. Then you have Netherlands, that lasts about 80 years. Then you have France, 95 years. You have England, 105 years, and now the United States at roughly about 110 years. And there is a little bit of a buildup period, okay? But most people don't even know that back in the 1800s and early 1900s, the United States dollar was barely being used. And again, like, I live in Panama. They have a dollar derivative called the Balboa. I don't ever use the Balboa. You know what I use out here? The dollar. Okay? I use the dollar. And that's for the majority of the world up until recently. Up until recently. And so to think that the dollar cannot go down in value or cannot be replaced, just like the French franc and the British pound were replaced back in the 1800s and 1900s, because we were spending these currencies in the United States back then. The dollar was trash. Nobody wanted dollars. They wanted pounds. They wanted francs. Okay? Is like sticking your head in the sand. It's like, no, my country is going to be always the best. So where did the dollar's dominance start gaining prominence? Well, we had something called the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944. And this is established by 44 allied nations post-World War II and aimed to promote global economic stability, trade, and reconstruction. We had a fixed exchange rate system where the currencies were pegged to the US dollar, and the US dollar was convertible to gold. So like when you used to get dollars back in the day, you used to have a note that was printed by the Treasury that says convertible for $1 worth of gold, because there was enough gold in the bank to satisfy all the dollars in circulation. Okay. And so this system ended in 1971. Why? Because the United States printed more than the amount of gold that they had. And all of these countries started saying, oh, shoot, I actually better run and start cashing in my gold. Otherwise, this United States government is playing tricks and deceiving us, and it may not be worth anything in the near future. And by the way, that's happened before with China, with Rome. Okay, and when I say China, I'm talking ancient China, the first fiat currency ever made. All right, and they've done it before. They've what's called debased their currencies. But in 1971, we have this thing called the Nixon shock, where it ends the gold standard. Okay, and we have the convertibility of gold go right out the window. Nixon says, sorry, can't change it for gold. We're holding all the gold that we have right now, and we're going off the gold standard. He said temporarily, but they ended up making it permanent. Okay, and so what happened? In the 60s and early 70s, we started having massive inflation like we're having today, massive trade deficits like which are going on right now, and rising public debt. And we all know with the government, I think at about $31.5 trillion. And when I started monitoring this back in 2017, it was at about $17 trillion, the debt was. And I thought it was huge back then. Back in 2008, we only had like $8 trillion in debt. Okay. It's a cause for concern. And so foreign governments, again, were concerned, and central banks were concerned about the dollar's reserves. So again, Nixon closes the gold window and ends the gold standard. But what happens? Because that should have ended the dollar's reign as a world reserve currency, right? No, they started the petrodollar system. Okay, and so as a result of this, the U.S. and Saudi Arabia, at the time the largest oil producer, struck a deal and said, hey, let's go ahead and buy oil for dollars. And so this gave the dollar a little oomph to maintain its reserve currency. But the criticism, okay, is it contributes to complete global economic imbalances. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. But here's the impact of leaving the gold standard. All right. And we've had times in the past, okay, where the government has literally stolen the people's gold. They went in, and I'm talking about the United States government, not any other, other governments have done the same. But if you had gold sitting in a bank, they went right in and they took it back in the 1930s. President Roosevelt did. It was illegal to hold gold outside of jewelry, and you could not even sell your jewelry. It was illegal to sell your jewelry. That's why I don't think that gold is really the most effective currency out there. It's actually very ineffective when you look at all of its characteristics and traits. But you can see here that the dollar has done nothing but decline since the 1920s, all right? All the way down to here. Purchasing power back in the 1920s was $25 for $1. Now it's at $1, okay? And so you've literally lost 25 times your purchasing power. Now, what's happened? This cozy bunch of people, okay, and I'm totally joking, created something called the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. Okay. And these guys formed this group of countries to promote economic cooperation and development and foster trade, investment, and knowledge sharing among member nations. Why? The United States weaponized the dollar over the last 110 years. And it's gotten progressively worse and worse. And to give you an example, Russia, and whether or not you think Russia should have gone to war with Ukraine, or you dislike what they do, okay, they had money in there in United States dollars that literally, I think it was like 8 billion or 80 billion, I can't remember the exact amount, that the United States wiped out with a keystroke, okay, and said, hey, Russia, sorry, your dollars are no longer valid here. And Russia has retaliated in other ways because they are the major oil producer for all of Europe. And they said, oh yeah, cool. Well, Europe, since the United States wiped out all of our dollars and all of you are part of NATO anyways, you're going to have to pay us in Russian rubles. And so most people, they listen to the lamestream media, but my fiance is from Russia. And I've started to understand a little bit more about what's going on in Russia media, which isn't good at all. Okay, I'm not promoting Russian media or anything like that. They're just as corrupt as the United States. They're just the absolute opposite of the United States. Okay, they're the absolute opposite of the United States. And so, in terms of their media, and so what Russia said was, guess what, guys? You got to start paying us in Russian rubles for our oil going forward. Sorry. And so we saw a decline in Russia's ruble and then a spike. And right now, Russia's ruble is the same as when I was traveling over there in 2020 before any of this stuff happened. Okay, it has the same value, and they're experiencing inflation just like everybody else in the world, but not quite as bad as us. Okay, but these guys said, hey, look, we are sick of NATO. We are sick of the United States using its currency to leverage us on every single thing we do. We want to be our own nations. And I don't blame them. I don't trust any of them as far as I can drop kick them, but I don't blame them. And here's the startling part. The new BRICS countries are actually, or soon to be new BRICS countries, are on a waiting list to get into this BRIC nation. Let that sink in. And it's not some of the usual suspects that you would think, hey, man, this is a country that's really aligned with the United States. Turkey, Mexico, Indonesia, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, and a number of other African countries are all waiting to get in. Algeria, Senegal, Nigeria, they're all waiting to get in to the BRICS nation if they haven't been let in already. And so and all of them were on the dollar standard before. So what will the BRICS nation's currency be backed by? Okay. Well, they say possibly gold. But again, just like the United States back in 1970, I mean, if you didn't trust the United States, which, like Billy said, they're probably one of the better ones. They've just gotten greedy. Okay. If you don't trust the United States, What makes you think you're going to trust China or Russia or Brazil that, they have a coup every 5 years, right? Or India. I mean, again, I don't trust any of these governments as far as I can drop kick them. All right. And so a lot of people ask me, what if Gven, should I keep my money in my bank account or what should I do? And more people than I'd like. And I'm not a financial advisor. All right. I'm not a financial advisor, but a lot of them are like, dude, what if the dollar does collapse and my dollar is worth 50% of its value? And I'm sitting here going like, dude, do the math. Since 2019, it's already gone down by 50%. This thing's just dying by 1,000 cuts. We're just not having like Argentina type inflation or Zimbabwe type inflation, but we're dying a slower death and it's headed in the same direction, down and to the right. I mean, if somebody were to show you, this chart and take away purchasing power of the US and just came to you and said, yo, would you buy this asset that has done nothing but gone down over the last 120 years? Type in the chat. I want to see how many of you would literally buy this asset. Okay. We can see that the government has been corrupt since day one. The only reason we had this pump, which was because of World War II. Okay. Was because of World War II. But ever since then, look at this. Down, 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 down. And by the way, just because a currency has gone down by 97%, which is roughly about what the US dollar has lost over the last 120 years, doesn't mean it can't go down by another 97%. Okay? So this is why people are running from the dollar, all right? Running from the dollar like it's like it's the boogeyman. And here's another reason, because people are starting to trust governments less. Check out this chart. Why should they be the ones to print money look at this. Again, another chart that's down and to the right. Okay? Down and to the right. If I show you the Bitcoin chart, which I'm gonna, just this year alone, you're gonna see it's up and to the right. Okay? But this is not a good chart. If I were to show you, and again, type in the chat, okay, if you would invest in this asset, if I took away all these presidents' names and public trust in government near historic lows, would you invest in this as an asset? No. Then why do you want to invest or keep your money in something that just keeps losing value over time? Again, these poly tricksters, they sit there and they go, we got to keep taxing the rich. They're never going to do that because, one, they can't even agree on anything anymore. Okay. And two, they know that they're the ones that are rich. So why would they cut themselves? They keep stealing the money by printing it. And it's evident by these two charts that they're the ones who are gaining from this. Definitely not us. Okay. Now, will the US dollar collapse soon? Meaning in the next, 90 days? I don't know, maybe. But probably not. And you can see in this chart, okay, this goes all the way back to 2022, last year, okay? We're starting to see that the United States still has a dominant force here. Okay, still has a dominant force. Second to them is the euro. But you're starting to see the Chinese yuan, or the renminbi, sorry. They have two different currencies, the slave currency and the currency for everybody else, all right? I mean, it went from absolutely nothing since 2000 to now creeping up. And this number is probably going to become exponential in the next year. And I mean, you're going to see this quadruple or quintuple, okay, in the Chinese renminbi. So what are they doing? What are these countries doing? Well, they're putting lipstick on a pig, all right? And governments are creating what are called country-backed or central bank digital currencies. Okay, but why would you trust this? Okay, remember, crypto, which is what a digital currency is programmable money. The OG crypto is transparent. I could give you my Bitcoin wallet address. I could give you my Ethereum wallet address, and you can get onto the blockchain and see all my transactions since day one. Okay, that's why when all these lamestream media guys get on MSNBC and they're, or CNBC or whatever, Bloomberg, and they're, oh my gosh, crypto is only used by criminals. No, I'm sorry, CNBC. The criminals use good old-fashioned cash because it is truly untraceable. The problem with cash is now even the criminals are like, man, we don't even want this junk because it's going down in value. But the problem with crypto for criminals is if they get caught, and they will, what ends up happening is you can see every single transaction. So you just basically served a criminal's case to the FBI or the DOJ on a silver platter. They cannot get away with it. They cannot get away with it. And I know some of you are probably sitting in the chat like, oh, but there's privacy coins. In my opinion, privacy coins just not going to hit. Just not going to hit. That's my opinion, though. And if I could have it, obviously I would want privacy coins because I really enjoy my privacy, but it's probably not going to be, that. But CBDCs, they're fighting like tooth and nail. China has already launched their own CBDC. And CBDCs will be Big Brother's ultimate control over their citizens. Imagine China, you owning China's CBDC, and you cross the street in one of their republics or one of their territories against the red light because nobody's coming and nobody's come for 10 minutes, and they catch you on one of their cameras and they deduct that money out of you. Or if you spent too much money in gas that month because you wanted to go explore the country, or if you ate too much that week, that you're not able to spend as much. That's what a CBDC is, guys and gals. So open your eyes. Another control mechanism in the matrix. And this is why we have to spread this information to our friends and family, because if not, they're going to get blue pilled. And if you don't know what that is, you need to watch the matrix. Now, if fiat currencies still have the ability to print unlimited money whenever they want at will, does that change inflation or deflation just because it's digital? Type it in the chat. I'm going to tell you, heavens no. Because like Billy said, you can either live in heaven or you can live in hell. I choose to live in heaven. Heavens no. It doesn't. They'll still print money, guys and gals. Again, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it ain't going to be your girlfriend. It ain't going to be your girlfriend. Another thing, and this is where maybe the United States could lose. And I don't think it's going to happen because they've pulled themselves out of it too many times, but stranger things have happened. All right. In less than 30 days from now, the U.S. is going to run out of money unless they pass a new debt ceiling. So these idiots keep raising the ceilings, instead of going, wait a second, maybe we should handle our finances like responsible adults. Maybe we should handle our finances like responsible adults, not like an 18-year-old kid who just got his first Visa credit card. Okay? And so what they've done here, check this out. This is Wall Street. Betting against them with what are called credit default swaps, essentially betting that the United States is going to default against or default by not raising the debt limit and not paying debtors, which the majority of them are foreign or banks. And look at this. Not even back in 2008 during the last economic downturn, real economic downturn we had, did it spike to that level. And then in the last two times where they threatened, didn't even come close to where it's at here, almost double the amount of credit default swaps. And why? Our politicians can't even agree on anything. The Republicans say red, the Republicans say blue. Doesn't matter. They said red, immediately blue. Blue is the right thing. They didn't read, they didn't do any research, nothing. So this is the problem. I think eventually they will print more money, but then they just totally annihilate the inflation, the deflation that they've tried to accomplish over the last year and a half by lowering or by hiring interest rates. Because who cares what interest rates are if you're just going to print more, right? This is not good for inflation. This is good for crypto and any asset outside of cash, stocks, real estate, all that good jazz. Now, there is a fight going on over control of the money in the US, and I'm going to get to the juicy stuff here in a little bit, so bear with me, all right? But you can see Robert F. Kennedy, he's a Democrat, all right? Joins Ron DeSantis. A lot of you know him. A lot of you live in Florida, okay? The governor of Florida. And I mean, look at his face. So sometimes it just, wow. His face just bugs me. But anyways, they're fighting against CBDCs. The problem is I just don't trust any government officials. I don't trust anybody that works for the government. I'm sorry. If you work for the government and you're here, I trust you if you make the step. But then you have clowns like Elizabeth Warren, all right, and the guy Senator Sherman in California, which I don't know how in the heck he was elected into office, but they're building an anti-crypto army because they want to have control. Oh, and by the way, Elizabeth Warren, you know, she makes something like $200,000 a year, but she has like $20 million. That's what her net worth is. I don't understand that. Just kidding. What she did was ran for president, kept a lot of the money, and then insider trades. And that's why they don't want for things to be on the blockchain, because if it's on the public blockchain, I can get on to Elizabeth Warren's wallet and Nancy Pelosi's wallet and go, yo, these ladies made trades. These ladies made trades before they announced X, before they announced they were moving all the microchip manufacturing back to the United States. And they bought chip stocks. That's why they don't want you to have cryptocurrencies. They don't want you to see what is coming, but that's all changing. Okay? So what's happening now? We have a multipolar financial system that's forming. We have the United States dollar system that's now starting to lose traction. We have the BRICS, which is starting to gain tractions in some of these more totalitarian countries. And then we have crypto and DeFi. And fiat currencies will soon have to compete with cryptocurrencies and DeFi because we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. Now, do you trust other forms of value currency like gold? I don't. Okay. Why? One, we don't know how much gold there really is in the world. I heard the other day that there's one mine that has all the gold that's in circulation right now that's unmined. You have jewelry that's not accounted for that can be melted into gold. The majority of gold is paper gold. And the majority is majorly inflated as to how much gold they are really holding on to, meaning there's more paper gold than real gold in the world. So we don't even know because, again, what do the polytricksers do? They manipulate the price of gold. And it doesn't have much of a use case outside of like the health benefits and some chip manufacturing. But we need more silver than gold. And at the end of the day, and this is why I put this vault in here. This is an actual real vault. Come on, man. If you own all this gold, you think you're going to be able to go through airport security or even put it on your private jet? Hell no. They're not going to let you withdraw. This is in a place that the government is watching like tooth and nail. You can't do anything except for walk into this place and look at it. That's it. Maybe make some jewelry out of it. And check this out again. Under executive, if you don't think that gold can be taken away, under executive order of the president, on or before May 1st, 1933, all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates now owned by them to a Federal Reserve Bank branch or agency, or to any member of the Bank Federal Reserve. You had to turn in your gold, and you would go to jail if you tried to sell or buy gold. Crypto is the superior solution. And if you can see here in my video camera, I have my wallet. I could have billions of dollars in here, and I can transfer it all over the world. No problems, no questions asked. Crypto is the superior solution. It's easily transportable, easily divisible, and easily accessible. And that's where, the old generation is going to be left behind. It's going to be totally left behind. Now, despite all the craziness in the world, check out what Bitcoin's doing. Look at what it's done. And I took this picture in April, okay? But it's gone nothing up and to the right, despite the craziness in the world. Despite the crazy, I think it's sitting at like 27,000 right now. The last time I looked a few hours ago before I got on. But it has gone nuts. It's almost doubled. Why? People are getting sick of the old system that benefits only the rich and only the polytricksters. Personally, I don't think governments will be able to compete against crypto. You can't change the stripes of a tiger. Look at what they've done through the ages of time. Since the beginning, no fiat currency has ever survived. Now, why? Decentralization is the way to go, and I'm gonna show you here in a few seconds. Now, again, do you trust the banks with your money? We've had all these bank failures. This is a bank run back in Germany after World War I. They were, like Billy said, burning their money because it got so cold. Okay, because it got so cold, it wasn't worth the paper it was printed on. And you can see here that we've had the second largest bank failure ever just a few months ago. Silicon Valley Bank. Okay, the biggest one was Washington Mutual. But here's the thing. They keep falling. They keep falling. And it's not over with. So just last week, we had First Republic. JP Morgan snaps them up, buys them out. All right. But their stock goes to hell in a handbasket. And there was a whole bunch of polytricksters that sold their bag right before it happened, so they know what's going on. And then check this out. This is one of our students, Lloyd. I don't know if Lloyd's in watching this right now, but he posted this. Fed reveals 722 banks reported unrealized losses, over 50% of capital, as concerns over U.S. banking crisis grows. And by the way, you know what these banks were invested in? 10-year bonds, 10-year T-bills that are worth half the amount because the government raised the interest rate so much. The interest that they were getting was between 0.1% back in 2020 when they lowered the rates, and they bet a 10-year bet on it, and then the Fed pulled a rug pull on them, raised the rates up to 5, almost 6% now, and now everybody wants their money out. But in order for them to sell those bonds that are locked, they have to sell them at a 50% loss. So when people tell you, no, the United States government is where you should invest your money, they freaking pulled the rug on the banking consumer and the community banks, which were the lifeline of lending. They were the lifeline of lending. So even if you do trust the banks, again, take a look at this. Okay, this is the loss, the purchasing power loss of your dollar since 2008, and the buying power loss since 2008. And FYI, this is not good. Up and to the right is good in the Bitcoin chart, not in the inflation chart, guys and gals. Okay, so I keep custody of my own money. That's what I do. That's what my students do. And because of this, I get to earn money better than the banks do now. Better. I need to change this. Better than the banks do now, because I'm not putting my assets in worthless shit like the 10-year T-bill. Okay, that they're just going to keep inflating away. It's not even keeping up with inflation. So before we get started into how me and my students are making money, I want everybody to know this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. Okay, so DYOR, do your own research. Once you've stayed till the end, you will be able to have a clear view, though, of how you can become your own bank and make bank money. And this is a question that I get asked a lot as well, though. Okay, the crypto market has faced some insane turbulence over the last year. How are you still making this much in passive income? And my answer is, I truly became my own bank and I stopped becoming a victim. So this is a skill you guys are going to have to learn. You guys and gals are going to have to learn. This is a skill you're going to have to learn. So even though we're going to bring you an abundance of knowledge, like Billy said, we can open the door. You've got to walk through it and you got to grind just like he did, just like I did. We're going to give you some shortcuts. But we're not, it's not like we're going to sit here and go, oh, guys, here's $100,000 seed money to go. No, we're going to teach you. But if you can roll up your sleeves, okay, if you can roll up your sleeves and learn, you're going to thank me for it in 10 years. All right. Now, before I show you how to become your own bank, first, let's educate you on a few things so that you understand how me and actually, that's over 1,000 students now. I need to change that, are making money. Okay, so what is a cryptocurrency? And I know a lot of you that are in crypto, you're like, oh my gosh, he's starting here. Just wait. We're going to get to the juicy stuff here in a little bit. So what is a cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is a way to transfer value without the need for a bank, central bank, or institution using blockchain technology. What is a crypto wallet? Okay, a crypto wallet is a wallet that resides on your phone or on your computer. And many of you may have something like a MetaMask wallet or an Exodus wallet. Exodus is a little old school, but MetaMask is a little newer. I'm not the biggest fan of MetaMask. I use one, but it does get the job done. Okay, but I have the highest level of security, which is a hard wallet, which means I have to physically be touching this wallet in order for any transaction to go through. So I can't have any hackers or any BS like that. Okay. So what is the blockchain? Okay. What is the blockchain? In its simplest form, think of the blockchain as your crypto is in the internet, in a internet safety deposit box. And your key to get into that internet safety deposit box is your wallet. Okay. And this is your key to get in. It is, government level security, right? To get in. And the only person that can get into this is you. Nobody else can get into this. Only you can get into this. Okay, only you can get into this. And by the way, for those of you that are sticking around, again, I'm going to drop the hardest gems here at the end, so stick through it. And like I said a little bit earlier, okay, here's the thing. Y'all have been here for almost 2 hours. I applaud the ones who have stayed. This is serious stuff, guys and gals. I didn't just go through that whole spiel of what's going on with the dollar if I wasn't dead serious about you losing your hard-earned money to inflation. It has happened over and over and over and over again, and it is going to keep happening to your money. So I'm grateful that you're here because you're the ones that are going to benefit from the most. But it's going to take time. It's going to take effort, okay? And if you show me that you're willing to put in the effort, I'll show you my time to really teach you this stuff. No man or woman is going to be left behind. All right. Now, What is decentralized finance? DeFi eliminates the fees that banks and other financial companies charge for using their services. Individuals hold money in secure digital wallets, can transfer funds in minutes, and anyone with an internet connection anywhere in the world can use DeFi. DeFi allows other people to do peer-to-peer lending and trading peer-to-peer without the need of greedy banks and institutions, meaning we make the fees that the banks do now. We make those fees, and I'm going to show you. So why is DeFi so much better, and why will it change the world? Everything from the stock market to real estate to commodities to art to music to gaming will be on the blockchain within the next 10 years. And if you don't believe me, check out this article. You can Google it when we're done here. JP Morgan on its crypto plans. The overall goal is to bring these trillions of dollars of assets into DeFi. JP Morgan Chase is already talking about this. They've already run transactions on a layer 2 solution called Matic on the blockchain. This is coming whether you like it or not. The question is, are you going to be a part of it, or are you going to be left behind? Okay. Goldman Sachs. Regulators should protect crypto investors at the point of trust, not the blockchain. So even Goldman Sachs is saying, look, protect these people to onboard their crypto, but let the innovation flourish. And these guys are way above my pay grade. All right. Way above. Maybe not in like, I don't know, not mindset knowledge, but certainly in terms of traditional finance, these guys are way above me. All right. And they're saying this stuff. And this is in December, as early as December. And you can check this out. We're actually even working on a project where we are tokenizing real estate. Tokenizing real estate. You'll be able to trade real estate 24/7 anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection and a wallet. And your coins for this real estate, for the title on this real estate, will sit here. And let's say you don't have enough money. That's okay. You can buy $48 worth. You can buy $100 worth. And guess what? The best part about it, you can trade it whenever you want. And by the way, these are DeFi protocols. I can literally borrow and lend against my real estate without the need of a bank. I do all of my transactions on your wallet. Guys, gals, if this isn't blowing your freaking minds right now, you need to have your head checked, because this is where it's headed. And look, they're doing way better than inflation. Well, the stated inflation, 10%. Where are you going to get 10% now, especially with the real estate market taking a dump? Okay. Especially with the stock market taking a dump. And I have a whole other lesson. Billy, we got to come on and we got to do another one in a couple weeks, because I have a whole other lesson as to like why China almost wants the US to keep the world reserve currency. They don't necessarily want it. All right. And I'm going to really make the case as to why a lot of these US assets are going to go down and why you've got to be in crypto. But that's for another one. Okay. But look, again, right now already I can buy real estate on the blockchain. And this is why you don't want to miss out on learning this technology before everybody gets in. All right. And I don't like when people FOMO, but I am going to say this, because then they don't make the right decisions. I'm going to say this. Look into it. You don't believe me? Fine. Look into it. See if all of this stuff is happening, because it is. I promise you. All right. Here's a testimonial from one of our students. So being a part of ARC saved me $1.5 million worth of crypto at the time of the crash. She had her money in a centralized crypto exchange called Voyager, 1.5 million. As soon as she signed up with me as my student, we got all of that money off. She's like, but I'm earning 5% a year. I was like, we're earning like 20% a month. She's like, get all my money off. And she had control of all of her money. I saved this woman $1.5 million worth of crypto, and she's earning, I'm not saying we're earning 20% per month every month. Some months we do have down months, okay? So don't think we don't have down months. We definitely do, okay? But in terms of generating fees like the bank do, we're always increasing every single month. Just depending on the crypto that we hold, it may go up and down though, okay? But now this woman is making anywhere, and I'm not even kidding you, between $20,000 and $50,000 per month. Her mom's in a elderly home. She's now able to pay for that. She's able to pay for her nice living. She lives between South America and the United States with her boyfriend. Her husband, and they're absolutely loving life. They're absolutely loving life. And she got into crypto very early and amassed a nice sum. And she did it over time, though. That's what I want you all to realize. She did it over time, but this is what you can aspire to. And this is just one of my students, okay? So today I'm going to show you how me and my students are earning ridiculous amounts of money and are infinitely printing crypto in dollars. I'm also going to be showing you how everything is going to be going on the blockchain so you can profit from it starting today. So how do we print money? Drum roll, okay? Things are going to really start getting juicy from here on out. It's no different than the banks and the institutions do. All right, so All right, so let's say, for instance, here, I have the NASDAQ, okay? The Apple stock trades on NASDAQ, and I need for you all to really, really pay attention to this part, because this is the part that if you get this, you're going to go, oh, whoa, I can make money like the NASDAQ does, and not in some Ponzi scheme or some BS MLM company. No, none of that, okay? Like cash flowing legitimately, just like the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, Coinbase, Binance, all of these centralized exchanges make money. So pay attention. Pay attention. So the NASDAQ provides what is called liquidity. So when I want to make a trade to buy Apple, I go through a broker like TD Ameritrade or, Charles Schwab or one of these brokers, right, that connect me to the NASDAQ. And then I go, okay, I want to buy Apple stock, okay? And let's say I want to buy one Apple stock. Well, I'm going to need, I think it's roughly around 150. Let's say it's 150 today, okay? I'm going to need at least $150 to buy Apple stock. But the NASDAQ needs to hold Apple stock as well, right? Now, the NASDAQ, in order for it to be what's called liquid, it not only has to have Apple stock, it has to have the equal amount of cash, so that if I want to sell my Apple stock at whatever point, if it's gone up or down, I can do it with the click of a button like that. And that's what we call a liquid market. An illiquid market would be like real estate. Up until now, where it's starting to trade on the blockchain, real estate has been illiquid. So how it's very hard to sell. You can't take it with you, right? And I like real estate. Real estate to me is one of the best assets in the world, but it does have its downfalls as well. All right. It does have its downfalls as well. It's susceptible to government regulations or government takeovers. Heaven forbid that happens in the United States. But that's real estate being illiquid. A liquid market allows us to trade in and out at the click of a button. Now, that doesn't mean your money's it can't go down in value. Of course it can. But it means that you can sell it fast enough to where you can maybe avoid further losses very, very quickly, where you wouldn't be able to do that in the real estate market. But every single time there's a trade between Apple stock and cash and Apple stock, a fee of $10 to $150, depending on the size of the trade, is taken by the NASDAQ. And they earn billions and billions of dollars per year. And here's the thing about it. The NASDAQ keeps all of the fees generated. Let me repeat that. The NASDAQ keeps all of the fees generated. Now, sometimes they allow guys and gals like JP Morgan Chase and Goldman Sachs and BlackRock to provide some liquidity as well, but they still take a big cut. And they're not calling John, they're not calling Sully, they're not calling Matt to go, hey guys, do you want to put your Apple stock in here and provide liquidity and we'll pay you a part of the fees? Nope. That's the good old boys club. That's the good old boys club. So the NASDAQ is a centralized exchange where you give them custody of your money, stocks, and power. And let me also address one more thing. Because some people may go, well, I don't pay any money from Robinhood or Webull or TD Ameritrade for my stock trades. No, you don't. But guess what? These huge funds that want access to your data pay them for you so that they can either bet with you or against you. And it's totally freaking rigged. It's totally rigged. So somebody is paying. Somebody's paying the NASDAQ. All right. That fee did not go away. They're much too greedy. But when you leave your money in centralized exchanges or your value, you give them custody of your money, stocks, and your power. So what is a decentralized exchange? So these are examples of decentralized exchanges in the crypto market, where you got to go to one centralized point to trade, where you have decentralized exchanges, like I'm going to show you here in a few minutes, where you can trade peer-to-peer. And guess what? I can provide any sum amount for people to trade, and I make the fees. Or the guy in India, or the gal in Peru, or the person in Panama, or the person in Iowa, or the person in Miami. Anybody with an internet connection and a little bit of money. I've seen it with as little as $10. People can put their money to earn liquidity, and I'm going to show you what that looks like here. So here's what happens when you learn how to become your own bank. All right. And let me see if I can zoom in on this. Okay. So you can see here, this is one of my liquidity pools. My capital provided on this was $5,000. Okay. I was earning in fees and this is because the fees are based on volume. So you really do got to know what you're investing in. Okay. But in fees, if the volume remained as high as it was, and this percentage fluctuates, at that moment in time, if I would have maintained that trajectory, I would have been earning 110%. And I've seen that as high as 500%. Okay. I'm not kidding, guys and gals. And I've seen it as low as 50, 60%. On this particular pair, yeah, I haven't seen it less than 50%. And look, it works exactly the same way as the NASDAQ. So think of Gala, which is a great cryptocurrency. If you want to go buy it, I'm not giving you financial advice, but it's one that I'm buying right now. It's going to be like the Nintendo of the blockchain, and it is next level, guys, next level. Like the Nintendo, the Tower Records, and the Netflix of the blockchain. That's what these guys are going to be. Like if some of you don't invest in this, like 10 years later, they're going to be like, oh man, I remember this guy, Gven, telling me, the wealth renegade. He told me to invest in Gala. And now if I would have just bought one, I would have been a millionaire, whatever. I'm kidding. But so take a look at this. Every time there is a trade between Gala and ETH, guess who's the institution? Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat. And the reason I want you to type these things in the chat, I want you to spell yourself. I want you to cast a spell on yourself that this is possible. Because the polytricksers do it, the institutions do it, the top 1% does it. The top 1% does it. Now you have the power to do it. And this is what they're so afraid of right now. This is why they have an anti-crypto army. Look at this one. Okay, this is another one, Ethereum. Very bullish on it. 116% in fees. No, I didn't. I don't need to call all of my friends and family and get them in on this in order for me to make money. I don't need to rob anybody in the form of a Ponzi scheme. No, I'm doing it the exact same way that stocks have been doing it for the last millennia. Not millennia, centuries. Sorry, centuries. I'm traveling too far into time. So what is infinite crypto banking? It's the ability to print money the same way Wall Street does using DeFi. And you can see here, this is the actual interface. I can literally hit collect fees, sign on my wallet. Okay, you can look here at my camera. I sign it here on my wallet. This goes to my wallet, and I can spend this money. I can spend this money on my crypto.com card, which is on my phone, and you can see it right here. All right. I don't even need a digital card. I just transfer it there and I can start spending it tomorrow and actually start earning anywhere between 1% and 2% off all of my spending of my crypto. This is how y'all get rich. This is how you get rich. Now, it takes time. Dan, one of our students, he's actually going to be coming to work with us. He's already at the brink of making enough passive income to where he can leave his job. Now, results vary based on students' investment amount and risk tolerance. All right? I've had students that have not made money. Okay? Maybe we weren't aligned. Maybe they didn't follow all the steps. Maybe they ran out of money. I don't know. Okay? But not everybody is going to achieve success. It's how much work and how much time you put into this is going to determine. Astrid, another one of my students, she was making $6,000 per month after she left her job in early January of 2022. And now it's probably more. But Astrid also went back to get another job so she could keep dollar cost averaging into crypto because she wanted more than just 6 or 8 or 10K. And she knew right now that they are buying the dips. Crypto is not back to its all-time highs. This is the time to be buying. This is why I was able to take $15,000 and turn that into a couple of million in a couple of years. All right. So how do you truly build wealth in crypto? 1, become as decentralized as possible. 2, educate yourself. 3, have a plan in place to hit your goals. I have a spreadsheet that I monitor my stuff because I want to hit 100K per month just in my portfolio. 4, learn how to do your own research and become your own non-licensed crypto financial advisor, which is what we're doing. This is red pilling you guys, freeing you from the matrix. See, we want to teach you how to invest like a Wall Street rock star. And now you have the ability. And if you don't have the time, but have learned how to invest, you still have to learn. We give you a managed option. So what is one way you can truly build wealth in crypto? Learn DeFi. I just showed you some peer-to-peer trading. That's just one of the things. But have the pros manage your crypto without ever losing custody in what's called our ARC managed vaults. And Billy has a lot of his money in there, a lot of his crypto in there. And if you don't have the time to do it yourself, we can help you with that. So you can see here, it's fully decentralized. All right, fully decentralized. There's actually a deposit button right up here that you deposit using your wallet. And you are the only one who can withdraw this money. You are the only one who can withdraw this money. It's fully transparent because it's on the blockchain, okay? Not like these other tricksters like FTX or Celsius or Voyager that over-leverage themselves. We cannot do that because every single thing is on the blockchain. And you can see every single trade, every single move, every single liquidity pool that we've gotten into. And it's fully managed. So we come in and use our expertise and our investment strategy so that you don't end up with your pants down and you end up taking profits and all that stuff without having to lift a finger. Okay? And then only our students of the ARC can join this investment. Why? Because we want to make sure you know what you're investing in. And it's not like, oh, okay, I signed up with the ARC. Can I invest? No, you have to learn. You have to take a test in order to participate. Even Billy Carson took the test. Luckily, he's very smart, all right? And a lot of our students are also very smart. And it's not Algebra 2 trig, but we want to make sure you know what you're getting into, okay? If you go to your 401k, they don't do that. Oh, yeah, let's put you in the Vanguard 1000 and this 1000 and this managed to... No. They put you in all these things. You don't even know what you're investing in. And you just hope to God that it's going to keep going up. And again, in 2 weeks, Billy and I are going to get on again, hopefully, if Billy wants. And we're going to talk to you. I'm going to make the case why the stock market is even going to crumble here very, very soon. Here's a whole bunch more of our testimonials, guys and gals. You know, we have students here. Let's see. I'm going to zoom in on Sean L's if I can. Wait, hold on. And I want to show you, this was in 1.5 weeks because Sean L, he's like really into this stuff. You can see here, look at this. His fee APR, 194%. Now, you have to know what you're doing because you can really lose your money if you don't know what you're doing, okay? But we've got, you know, testimonial after testimonial. Look at this, 275% from their fees. No, come bring your friends to our multi-level marketing, selling juice. No, you know, selling water filters, none of that, okay? Selling lotions and creams, nope. This is a cash flowing business, just like real estate, just like the NASDAQ does it, just like the Coinbase does it, just like any of them. We just built a better mousetrap. And we're getting to the end here, so pay attention because this is where it gets the best. Now, potential difference between holding your crypto and being the bank. And I wanted to bring this slide to your attention because this is where the rubber meets the road for you. Okay, I've seen returns as high as 248%. Sorry. Hold on. Time out. Let's say you buy and hold your Bitcoin. At today's price, or when I did this slide, it was at 27,700. It's more or less around this price right now. Okay, from about a month ago. Let's say Bitcoin goes up to $67,000, which is its all-time high, which is not impossible. Not even close. I think Bitcoin could be worth millions of dollars one day, but that's for another discussion. Okay? But let's say it just goes up to its all-time high, which it already was back in December of 2021. Okay? And now, and this was taken from my from actually one of my softwares online that monitors my investments. Okay, so I was averaging about 146% in cryptos. Now, let's say BTC goes up by 248% to $67,000 from where it is today. But now you have an additional 146.62% in fees that you're making in BTC. Now, results vary, and there are no guarantees in regards to growth. But this is just an example. Let's do the math. I start with 1 BTC here, and I have an interest rate of 146.6% per year. And let's say I'm doing this for 3 years, which in my opinion is the minimum amount of time you need to be into this in order to become critch. You can't get critch quick. We want to get you critch in medium time. All right? You're going to roll up your sleeves. Your stomach's going to fall out sometimes because of the drops that are in crypto. But you're going to have a strategy, a plan. You're going to know what you're doing. So over the next 3 years, you let that build and compound like I showed you guys and gals before. Well, guess what that compound interest with no additional deposits, which isn't the way we teach it. We teach it that you keep investing. All right. With no additional deposits at 146.62% over 3 years, that 1 Bitcoin becomes 63.43 Bitcoin. Okay, 63. And this is compound interest. You can daily compound interest. This is not me making up these numbers. You can take a look at it for yourself. Now, look at this number. If you would have just held 1 Bitcoin and it went up to 67,000, how much money or value would you have in US dollars today? Type it in the chat. And I want you to spell these things to yourself. You would have $67,000. If you were the bank, and this is why these banks have their name at the top of all of these buildings. If you were the bank, okay, you would have close to 4.2 million inside of 3 years, or over 4.2 million. What could you do with that money? What is that life-changing money? If you say no, there's something wrong with you, or you have too much money and whatever. All right, and then go do what you're doing. But again, results vary, and there's no guarantees. This is just what I've been doing. And by the way, I've seen this massive amount of growth myself. I've seen it myself. I've lived it. I've experienced it. Okay. Now, imagine that's if Bitcoin goes up to 67,000. Usually every 4 years, it goes up by 10 times the amount of where it's at today. So that would be $250,000 or $270,000. Do 63 times $270,000. How much is your Bitcoin now worth? See, you got to work smarter, not harder. Again, this is not financial advice. And by the way, if you guys want to book a call, they've been dropping the link in. If you're already excited, you're like, I don't care. I'm aligned with this. I'm feeling this, book a call, because sometimes we have calls that go out like weeks because especially with Billy. Billy brings the people. But all right, you've learned the 4 things that ARC teaches in order to ensure the success, and stay through because we're going to talk about some last juicy things that you have to know. You've learned everything is headed into crypto DeFi, from stocks to commodities to real estate. We're launching our own real estate project here really soon. And we're bringing people from all over the world to come see us in regards to this. It's going to be really, really interesting. But anyways, it's going to be fun. But you've seen everything is headed towards the blockchain. You've learned it's possible to keep your crypto safe in your own possession. You've learned it's possible to be decentralized and have your crypto properly invested without ever losing your custody. You've learned that you need to educate yourself on how to properly set yourself up in crypto and DeFi in order to succeed. Now, the blue pill: stay in your comfortable illusion of a life. Chill out. Okay, like Billy's saying, I'm gonna go until I'm 65, until my joints hurt, until I'm in the new matrix, the medical matrix, which we'll cover at another date. I'm in the medical matrix now because now I need to keep the medical matrix alive. I'm a battery in the medical matrix. At 65 or 67 or 80 years old, I've had students, they couldn't retire until 80 years old. They couldn't retire. They had to keep working. Or the red pill: you get out of your comfort zone and we show you another way to live, like I made that decision back in 2020, like Billy made his decision way before, before 2008 even. So what are your options to learn true infinite crypto banking with us? Well, I'm going to start from high and I'm going to go low. I'm going to start high and go low. All right. So hang in there. Don't hit the roof. So we have our ARC Cosmos program. This program has over 12 plus hours one-on-one with one of our coaches. And all of these coaches, these aren't, VAs in Timbuktu where you don't understand the language or whatever. Nope. These are people who work with me, who have been my students, and who have moved up. And all of them, every single last one of them, has been with me for over 1.5 years now as students. All right. Now they're working their way up to masters. All right. And they're teaching people. They've taught hundreds of people. Okay. You're going to get access to one of our other passive income strategies, doing anywhere between 5 to 40% per month, called the Traders Vault, that we didn't talk about today. You're going to get 5 live group classes on all things DeFi, and you can keep taking those classes and workshops, 5 live workshops. As long as you're in the ARC, you can keep taking those workshops month in and month out. You're going to get access to the managed vaults, which we talked about, where we manage all that stuff. You're going to get, if you're one that you want to just skip ahead of some of the videos, like I showed you, Sean L., he skipped ahead on his videos. You're going to have access to that launch pad with all the videos to do all the things that you want to do. You're going to get access to our community, our Discord, which is worth all of this money in gold. All right. Our community is second to none. If you're in our community, can you throw it in the chat? Like, let people know that you don't work with us. Well, we work together on teaching, but let them know how good it is. All right. Let them know in the chat. And then you're going to get access to Wise Wednesdays and Saturday schools, which is when I'm talking about all the next level new stuff. If you live in the United States, you get 1 hour with our CPA, Crypto Lorenzo. Thrive Thursdays, we teach you. This is where I'm actually teaching people that location freedom. It's not just enough that you learn crypto, but all the benefits that come with it. So I'm actually teaching people that location and time freedom. And then you're going to get PDF step-by-step worksheets that follow along all of our courses. And we're going to ship you a brand new hardware ledger, which is really, really cool. All right. So this is $15,997 upfront and $97 per month. Okay. Now, let me tell you this. We are making people tens of thousands of dollars per month. Okay. I've had students make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, but we're making people tens of thousands of dollars per month. That's why I'm not afraid to charge this much, and it's one-on-one. Now, we have another option. We have the Apex. Now, Apex is much lower, much lower, but you get all the same things, okay, except for no one-on-one work and no hard wallet, and you get like this really, when you go with Cosmos, the other one, it's really the Bentley. It is the Bentley, okay, of what we do. Okay, it's the Bentley of what we do. We have one where you can work with me directly, but I don't even talk about that unless you have at least $3 million in crypto already. All right. So, but this one, Apex, you're missing the one-on-one, and you're missing the hardware and the welcome box, which is like an Apple welcome box. It's like, I don't know if you've ever opened up your like Apple and it like suctions out, right? It's so cool. It's so cool. You get all sorts of really cool swag and all sorts of things that you're going to use on a daily basis when you get into crypto. But you're going to get the 5 group classes, 5 workshops, access to the managed vault, the launchpad videos. You're going to get access to the community, which again is worth its weight in gold. Wise Wednesdays with me, Saturday schools with me, Thrive Thursdays, PDF worksheets. This is $3,997 upfront and $97 per month. And by the way, guys and gals, I have not personally asked for a raise in over 2 years. So we're actually raising the price. This is not a gimmick. If you show up in a few weeks, when Billy and I talk about how the stock market's going down, all right, I'm not even going to say it. It used to be $3,997, all right? And the $15,000 one used to be $10,000. But with inflation going up, we didn't take one raise, but now we've earned it. We have the secret sauce, guys. I'm not afraid to charge this. Now, the price goes up after May 15th. Some of you may not talk to somebody until after May 15th, but if you book today, okay, we grandfather you in. All right? We'll grandfather you into $3,997 and $97 per month. And as long as you pay the $97 per month, you stay part of the group. And we have payment plans as low as $400 per month. All right. And then our lowest one, which some of you may be like, yo, I want to try this out. I want to get to know Gven. I want to get to know the group. We have one called Arc Wealth X Passive Income Generator. And we teach you how to onboard your cash. So we teach you very, very simples of DeFi, like the bare essentials. Okay. Access to 5 plays and growing. It grows. Okay. You're not going to get the same deals. You're not going to get the same cuts that we have to offer on Arc Apex, but we still give you a lot to offer. We give you access to all new passive income plays pertaining to trading, not necessarily DeFi. Some of them are DeFi. Okay, we've added some DeFi ones but they're very basic DeFi stuff. And we give you access to videos on how to get into the plays. All right. And we also give you access to the Trader's Vault, but we take a much bigger split. So that in and of itself will probably make it worth your while to upgrade. But if you just want to start, it's $360 up front for the entire year. And you can start there. So we're anticipating to sell out of spots in all of our courses. And we've done it before, especially when Billy gets on, people go crazy because you guys know Billy's going to speak the truth. Now, you can reserve your appointment with one of our onboarding specialists. Hopefully, you've already done that. Because, again, we've had some times where it goes out almost a month, but we have enough people. And by the way, we don't call our people salespeople. We call them onboarding specialists. These people are actually coach-level people. And almost all of our OBS, we call them OBS, onboarding specialists, have gone through all of our courses, and they could probably teach just as well as one of our coaches, one of our most seasoned coaches. So these guys aren't some snazzy salespeople. If you're not aligned with who we are, they'll tell you straight off the bat. They will tell you. A lot of Billy's people are aligned with who we are, which is really cool. That's why I love working with Billy's people the most, because honestly, we're vibing on another level and we're doing it together, and it's fun. But this is, we're breaking people out of the matrix, guys and gals. Book that call. Let's see if we're aligned. Maybe not. Maybe you have something else. I'm not saying we're the only ones out there doing good things in finance. I can safely say, though, when it comes to DeFi, all this stuff, we're the best in the world. And that's why Billy's linked up with us. So interested, reserve your spot. Like I said, we've sold out twice this year. Don't get added to our wait list. Take action now. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am done. Billy, where are you at, my friend? Shoot, Billy, hold on. I think you're muted. There you go.
There we go. That was amazing. You did a great job breaking all of that down. I just logged into Zapper to check my net worth, and it was at $230,000, which is incredible. And I'm like, you got to tell people, you just have to take the time, the effort, the energy, and also sometimes the sacrifice. And in this case, the sacrifice, in my personal opinion, is well worth it. Right, well worth it. And I dropped the link in the chat a few times. Make sure you guys take advantage, you guys and gals. Take advantage of the opportunity. I'll drop the link again one more time. I just wanted to pull up one thing here real quick and show it, because there's one thing to say things and there's one thing to show, because the proof is always in the pudding. So I'm going to pull this down, and I'm going to share my screen for a second. I got this camera in front of my thing here. Hold on a second. That's not it. There, hold on. Move this camera. And so why am I showing this? I'm just showing you that I've been working and investing money, dollar cost averaging, and working the system along with Gven and his team, and becoming a student of this business. And it pays off. It just takes time, and it takes effort, it takes energy, and it takes some sacrifice, which is your investment, but it pays off. So again, I always come with the receipts. And so I think it's important for people to understand that, hey, if you want to be able to be in this kind of position, well, then make sure you click the link that I'm dropping in the chat right now. Make sure you register ASAP, get yourself a consultation. Gven, I got to hop on a 2-hour podcast with Jimmy Church to talk about the Forbidden Conscious Awards. And by the way, you're one of the nominees as Entrepreneur of the Year at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. Your people went out and voted for you. We didn't vote for you. Not that I wouldn't vote for you, but your students, so many of your students voted for you that you made it to the top 3 nominees in the entrepreneur category for conscious entrepreneurs. So congratulations.
Nice thing. Well, okay, I'm in it because I want to win. All right, I'm in it to win it. You guys, if you're hearing this, all right, please give me that vote. If you liked the content, even if you don't book or whatever, hopefully you did. Hopefully you walked through that door. But if you even like the stuff, please vote for me. I would really appreciate it, because I want to be up there accepting that award. But I'm up against like some 2 heavy hitters. So, but hopefully
never count yourself out, man.
Yeah. But hopefully we see you all there live. That would be a lot of fun to see a lot of you there live. So
absolutely. I just dropped the link in the chat, the Forbidden Conscious Awards. You can vote for free. There's 12 categories. There are actually really 11. The 12th category will be picked by us. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award. But the top 3 nominees in each category are solidified and locked in now. Thank you for all the tens of thousands of votes that we got for people all around the world. And it was a pleasant surprise, again, to see your name in there under Conscious Entrepreneur. To be honest, not that I didn't expect it, but it's just amazing that your students really came to bat for you and they really voted for you. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I have an amazing
Yeah.
community. I am nothing without my community. So I'm super pumped, man. I'm super pumped. I'm gonna see you there.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. All right, everyone. Thanks for spending some time with us tonight. Thank you for registering. Again, the link, I'll drop it one last time, is in the comments and also in the caption of this video. Click that link, register for a consultation, and you will be pleasantly surprised, as I was, that there's an opportunity here for you to earn a passive income. As with anything, there's always a risk, but listen, no risk, no reward. All right. Hey, man, peace. I appreciate you, brother. And everyone here in the chat, thanks for hanging out. I've seen a lot of great comments tonight, a lot of great interaction, a lot of great engagement. We'll see y'all later, all right? Third Eye Love. Peace.
Cheers.